Hey, good morning. This is Brother Jerry with a slice of toast from the bread of life. You know, summer's come on and there's a lot of activity going on. We try to find something to do that will bring peace in our lives where we suffer from heat, we cold, the politics, all those things that are driving us crazy. And yet God has the answer all the time for us. You know, he says this. He said in 1 Timothy 6:6, but godliness with contentment is great gain. And I believe that the contentment that we have and the things that we're striving to get all rely on our godliness. There's two kingdoms at play in the world today. The first one is, of course, the worldly system. The worldly system is you're not really, well, Satan started it. Let's put it straight as it is. He told Adam and Eve, who had everything, complete contentment, they were wandering the garden, and all of a sudden he spoke to the woman in Genesis and says, "You know what? Hasn't God told you could eat of all the fruit in here?" She said, "Yeah, everything but the tree." And he said, "Well, don't you know why that is? He wants you to not have all the knowledge and everything that he's got." See, she could have been content if the devil had never spoke to her. And we go through the worldly system striving always to get gain. We're not happy with just what we got. We have to have more. We have to have what other people. I mean, no wonder God said, "Thou shalt not covet." And I believe it's an important lesson that we've got to get a hold of. Jesus said in Mark 8:36, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" You see, the key, we're no longer children of this world, but we're children of the kingdom. We've been adopted in by through the blood of Jesus Christ into God's house. We're now his sons and daughters, and we live in his kingdom. And Paul says we're ambassadors to that kingdom. We don't get entangled in the affairs of the world, he wrote to Timothy, because we're good soldiers fighting a battle over evil. And he summed it up in Philippians, Paul did. He said, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." And I don't think people understand that there's a life after this life. We're here to get back into the things that God promised, what they had in the Garden of Eden. Everything that God has for us is in his kingdom. We don't have to be content. Jesus said, "Take no thought for tomorrow, what you might eat or what you might drink or those things." But he said God's got it all in his hand, and it's the Father's good pleasure to give it to you. We need to get a hold of that concept that we can just, if we walk in the kingdom, he's going to send it to us. An ambassador from another country doesn't live off the country. He lives off the riches and things that the king that sent him to the other country has. And Proverbs 119 says, "So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof." We don't want to lose our lives to the enemy. We don't want to lose out on what God has given us, but we want to get what he's got and everything he's got for us. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. See, understanding the things of God and the kingdom is what it's all about. Our gain isn't gain in the world sense, but Paul said, "Set your affection on things above, not on things of this world." Our gain has to be in seeking to do the will of the Father. And then Paul says this is how it works to Timothy. He said, "Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds are destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw yourself." We have been misled and perverted by the spirit of darkness that's invaded our churches. I'm sorry. But if you think that coming to church is to give you great gain here on earth, it doesn't mean that God can't pour a blessing out. But if you're doing it to gain something, and people are teaching you that you give $100,000 and you'll get $1,000,000 back or whatever, that's not the godly principle. The godly principle is this, back where we started. But godliness with contentment is great gain. You know, if we're happy with what we've got and God gives us something that we can share with others, then that's the great gain of this world. Until the next time, this is Brother Jerry saying God bless you.